Oilerslive Broadcast. Oilerslive Broadcast. Oilerslive Broadcast. Oilerslive Broadcast. Oilerslive Broadcast.
Hello and welcome to Oilers live stream. This is the first one, testing out tonight only, but we'll have a little bit of a call-in doing post-game. I've got no guests tonight, so it's just me. I'm going to wing it. If anybody's out there that's listening, please do call in. Maybe we can have a little bit of fun and talk a little bit of hockey. Couple things going on. Exciting game, of course. Oilers won tonight. Rattie with 5 points. That was pretty darn cool. And McDavid looked to be his usual self. Everything about that game was good. There was a couple defensive lapses. A couple things. I think Talbot would have liked to have the second or the third goal back. A little bit weak. Actually, probably the second and the third goal. But there's a couple other things that happened tonight. I am going to record this episode as well, so it's going to go, it'll be available on YouTube. If you can, go to my YouTube channel and feel free to subscribe there if you can. And you can also go onto YouTube. There's a little chat function there. You can go and chat right now if there's any of you out there that want to chat. This is going to be the format going forward for the season. You can interact with me, of course, on Twitter as usual, or come on and call in. We've got a little bit of a call-in capability here as well, so you can reach me tonight if you want to call in at any time at 587-907-5483. That's 587-907 live. I'll get you on the air and we can chat a little bit of hockey. So I'm going to watch the call in for you. If I don't see you right away, just hold on. I will look over. I've got my console right over to the right here, so that's where I'll be looking to get you on there. So a little bit of a recap for tonight's game. Of course, Oilers completely outshot the Jets tonight. I think it was just about double at one point. I wouldn't really consider this a preview of what's to come, and I think most of you would definitely agree. I mean, the Jets had, I think, 8 full-timers out there. I do I remember a few years back when Trouba entered the league. I've always kind of hated him. I thought there was one season where Oilers came out and played the Jets' first game. Trouba was in his rookie season. Trouba had a hell of a first game against the Oilers, and that kind of set the tone for what ended up being another poor season for the Oilers. So really happy to have to do this tonight. Maybe get some of you on. Again, it's 587-907 live, 587-907-5483. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Rattie's game tonight. Of course, 5-point night. Is he the guy? I mean, that's the big question. Everybody heard that McClellan called all of the potential right wingers in to, I'm not even sure. Wow. All right. And there we go. And this is why we test live. So I didn't have any audio. I've been talking here for about 5 to 10 minutes and I didn't have any audio. That's exciting. I'll probably have to cut that out when I put the recording onto the YouTube site. Please, if you can, go to the YouTube site. There's a chat function. You can chat with me live, or you can call in tonight at 587-907-5483. I just said some of the most insightful stuff I have ever said. I'm just learning. This is my first night doing the streaming live video as well. You can go onto the Oilers.live website, and there's a radio pop-up there. You can go on there and go live there and just listen. So you can listen or you can do the video. It's up to you. Feel free to interact with me on Twitter or YouTube, whatever your social poison is. And there we go. Thanks, Dale. I figured out the audio, and of course it is just a test episode. But appreciate you tuning in and letting me know. Would have been nice had somebody called in. Usually Megathread Mike's good for a call in. I don't know if he's out there listening today, but we've got 587-907-5483. Phone lines will be open for as long as I do this tonight. Normally what I'm going to do is have a guest or somebody on the air, and we'll talk a little bit of hockey and about the Oilers. Tonight, of course, the big story, well, it's always McDavid, but the bigger story tonight was none other than Rattie. For those of you wondering if he was going to get a look on Connor McDavid's wing, he most certainly is. He's a capable player. There is no doubt about that. He is very capable of being out there. He's got the skills. When he was in New York, he had a good first season with Tavares. And then he kind of fell off from there. Let's hope that he stays consistent. And we'll see. I'm thinking we'll probably see him start the season on McDavid's line. The other player, though, that most of you have been impressed with, at least from Twitter, is, of course, our very own Jesse Puljujärvi. And he's been outstanding. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at some point. So I'm just getting back to you, Dale, on Twitter. Thank you for letting me know. And if anybody has any feedback, of course, as to how the audio looks and how the video looks, just let me know. I'm looking at myself live on Twitter right now. Got 11 viewers out there. That's not too bad for our very first episode. We'll maybe get some of you to call in 587-907-5483. While I've got 11 people on, I want to let you know, most of you know, the Oilers Live Cup. This is something I wanted to do for a little while now, which is get people together. The Oilers Twitter group is a very fun group, great group of people. Get you all out to play some hockey. Some of you to watch some hockey if you're not a player. So that's December 9th, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. I engaged the services of Mr. Mike Dursa, Megathread Mike, as I like to refer to him. So as if you don't know yet, the podcast that I will be recording weekly will be the Heavy Hockey Podcast. And then this Oilers Live will be the live broadcast that I'm going to do either Thursdays, 10 p.m. or post-game. So if the game goes late, if it's, say, in Vancouver, we might start streaming at about 11 o'clock. We'll see what happens. So anyway, Megathread Mike, myself, I'm going to captain the team Heavy Hockey. He'll captain Team Megathread. We'll get a little trash talk in beforehand, I'm sure. This is going to happen at the Downtown Community Arena, and that goes December 9th, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. There is no registration fee. And as of tonight, we have only got 3 player spots left. So please sign up as quick as you can. If you're just on the fence, sign up, get in there. I mean, let's play some hockey. Have a little bit of fun. December 9th is the Battle of Alberta. So late that evening, Calgary will be in town. Most of us, if not all of us, there's about 53 registered now between spectators and players. It's about, I don't know, about 50 more than I expected to show up. We're all going to head out to the Hat on Jasper. And I've talked to Mike over at the Hat on Jasper, and he's going to have some drink specials for us, put together a couple different things, and you know what? We're going to have a lot of fun. And that's what we're going to do. We're, probably have a couple beers, a couple drinks, that kind of thing. Talk about the game, talk about how terribly humiliated Team Megathread was by Team Heavy Hockey. But you know what? It's not Mike's fault. The superiority. I've been already coaching the team here, getting them ready. So I, in fact, actually will be drafting at the rink. So it's going to be a modified recreational game. I've got a ref coming out, and it's going to be a few different rules, but it's going to be a game. We'll get a volunteer to work the scoreboard, and we're just going to have some fun. So a couple things yet to announce on that over the next couple weeks. It should be a good time. Also, donations, very important. Our Twitter own, Oilers Twitter own, Rudistic, is an autism parent. And those of you who don't know him, well, you should. He's active on Twitter with us, and he goes by, just let me make sure I got this right, at Rudistic. That's Rudistic. And he, not that long ago, his son, it was kind of a great story. His son would go home and always pretend to work at the car wash. So I believe it was Mint Car Wash actually made him an honorary employee. It was a great story. Everything that I've heard about Brandon, that's his name, is he's just a wonderful guy. And so a couple of the guys, led by Mr. Mike Dursa, suggested that we do something that would be good for him. And so I reached out to Brandon and asked him who we should support. And he thought the Chinook Autism Society was going to be a great thing. We've got our first caller. And this one's coming in from Saskatchewan. Just hold on one second. Hey, Derek. Welcome to Oilers Live, first ever live broadcast. You're the first live caller.
Hi, first time caller, long time listener.
Hey, how are ya? It says Derek, but obviously the text-to-speech is not that great. How was the game? This, by the way, for those of you who don't recognize the voice, this is regular guest Eric Friesen, who's calling in. He was at the game tonight. So give us a little bit of rundown what you saw.
Man, I've been to quite a few Oilers games over the years, but I've never seen them score 7 goals in person, so that was pretty cool. Third time at Rogers Place, a great experience. This was my best time there, and the top line looks really dangerous. I mean, they played an undermanned Jets squad, but still, McDavid and Nuge were magic, and Rattie, fantastic too. A lot to like about them. I thought Bouchard made a lot of nice plays too, and in the first period, Ryan McLeod was really noticeable. I didn't see him good as much in the second or third, but yeah, all in all, a pretty great night at Rogers.
Yeah, it was pretty unreal. Overall, what's your thought? I mean, on Rattie, right? That's the game story tonight, obviously. Do you think he's definite on the wing for Connor McDavid this year?
Definitely. I mean, Todd McClellan said about a week ago that Rattie was at least going to get the chance to start there. And, he deserved it with how he played down the stretch last year. I think he had 9 points in 14 games. That's pretty good production, even if it was in garbage time. But, he's earned a spot there. I wrote an article for the Hockey Writers about a week ago as well to say that Kyler Yamamoto had a chance to steal that spot. But as good as Yamamoto's looked in preseason, I really think it's Rattie's spot to lose right now.
Yeah, it's certainly that. What about Puljujarvi? I thought he had another strong game.
Fantastic. He probably could have had a hat trick tonight. I mean, he was hooked on a breakaway and didn't score, but drew a penalty, and he ended up scoring a power play goal about a minute later. So multiple chances to score there. He had what looked to be a sure tap in front of the net in the second period that he just couldn't convert. I saw him really well tonight, and I think he's looked good in every appearance that he's had so far. I mean, the other night he was good in Vancouver too. So, he's scoring goals. It looks like he's more confident this year too. I think that's the biggest thing from him. So, really impressed with Puljujarvi. I think the people who are writing him off at age 20 really need to rethink it. This kid is going to be a stud.
Yeah, I think he's come back a different player. I know Kelly was saying that he switched sticks throughout the year or throughout the summer. Yeah, and I've noticed a difference in his ability to handle the puck. The other thing I noticed is his cornering. I don't know if he's been taking cues from McDavid, but his turn back has been much better this year, and he's fooled a couple guys on the turn, and he's made some really nice saves.
Definitely, and he's better with his stick and a better skater than I think a lot of people think. And it's like you said about having the shorter stick now. One of the benefits to having a longer stick is he's so active in the offensive zone, and he's able to keep plays alive. But because he has such a long wingspan as it is, he doesn't need to have an 8-foot stick. His arms are so long that even with a slightly shorter stick, he's going to be able to knock pucks loose and steal pucks from the opposing defenseman. So that's not an issue. And the best benefit is that he's able to use his skill so much more now. You look at him with that shorter stick, how he's able to dangle a lot better. I mean, we're noticing it. I think even on the goal in Vancouver the other night, where he kind of deked out his man and just let a quick wrist shot go from the high slot and beat the goaltender. I really think we're going to see him make a lot more skilled plays this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything you said there sort of sums up his goal tonight. The pushing the puck forward, using his reach, despite the shorter stick, as you said, and then just a nice tuck it away in the inside of the post. What a beauty goal! And even just the hockey sense to get into that space. We're seeing finally a player come into his own, and there's been some that know him out there, and who you are on Twitter, that have suggested every division, every league that he's been in, it's always taken him a season, maybe two, to really find his game, and I think that's the case here.
And you know what? When people bashed Chiarelli for not signing a veteran right winger to potentially take that spot and push him further down the lineup, or at least make him compete for that spot. But really, I think that's kind of a confidence play that Chiarelli's saying, we're not going to bring a guy in because we're banking on you taking a step forward and earning that spot. Now, it came back to bite the Oilers last year when Chiarelli didn't make enough upgrades to the lineup in the off season. So we'll see if it pays off this time. I'm hoping that them having a quieter summer and keeping the powder dry doesn't hurt them. But I really think that by January, Kyler Yamamoto and Puljujarvi could potentially be the top two right wingers for the Oilers. I guess part of it depends on how Rattie produces, but don't bet against Jesse Puljujarvi. I think the kid has tremendous upside.
Now, how about Lucic's goal? Your thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the kind of goals we're wanting from him,
That's
obviously.
what you want to see.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want to see. I think it's just great that he's getting some confidence back. He looked more confident tonight. There was a couple plays in the offensive zone where the shot that he got off wasn't great, or it'd get blocked or hit a shin pad or something. But tonight he just looked a little more like the old Lucic, and I hope that he can kind of continue to trend in this direction where he gets back to being the player he was 2 years ago. Because even if he's on a third line, which I don't think he will be to start, I think he'll be on the second line. But no matter where he plays, you just want him producing well in that role. So if he's going to be a third liner, then he needs to be a damn good third liner and be a physical presence, chip in some offense. But he just looked like he's getting back to his old self, and we could see that from the first day he was in training camp and started talking to the media. He just looks like a different guy.
Yeah, he certainly does. I've said, and many others have also said, it was a confidence thing, a mental thing. I thought that was obvious on a couple of games near the end of last season. Good to see him. I know it's only preseason, but good to see him score a goal, especially where he scored it and how he scored it. It was interesting. I don't know if you wouldn't have heard. I guess you were at the game, and I want to ask you a little bit about that. But Jack Michaels thought that Draisaitl looked a little bit frustrated out there today. What's your thoughts on Draisaitl's game tonight? And there was some talk of just one other thing. I mean, there was some talk about how much he wanted to play with McDavid. And what's your thoughts?
First of all, I'm going to give you a quick plug because your interview with Jack Michaels was fantastic the other day. So anyone listening, go back to the podcast and listen to that because it's a great chat with Jack. He's a good storyteller, and you'll really enjoy that. And for Draisaitl, there's always been some talk that he's kind of a pouter and that he wants things to go his way and that he's this emotionless German player. And you know what? I kind of like that he has a kind of a pissed off attitude. Like, he's never happy and never satisfied because he wants to keep getting better. And yeah, of course he wants to play with Connor McDavid. Who wouldn't want to play with Connor? But the thing is, he was signed to an 8-year deal for $8.5 million per year to be a number 2 center and to be an elite number 2 center. He wasn't signed to be Connor McDavid's winger. And he needs to understand that it's his onus, it's his responsibility to drive that second line. He needs to make guys better and not have Connor make him better. So if he can be a consistent 70-point player and get guys like Lucic up and running, and they've had good chemistry in the past, and if he can get guys like Jesse Puljujarvi or Tobias Rieder, who he should be extremely motivated to play with, a former German or a former Team Germany teammate of his, they should have some chemistry together. So yeah, and as for tonight, it's a little quiet at times, and then other times he'd come out and really surprise you with a great shift. But yeah. I can see why some people might be a little down on him, but I wouldn't bet against Draisaitl. I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, I think once he realizes the skill level and the talent that he has on his own without McDavid, and that's not to say he doesn't know that yet. I'm sure he's quite aware of his talent level, but I think that he needs to own it. And once he owns it, he's going to be awesome.
For sure, and not to cut you off, but that's exactly what Stauffer says on Oilers Now all the time. He's always saying, I don't think Draisaitl realizes how good he is yet. But I think he has an idea. Like when you signed for the dollars he did, and when you're a former top 10 scorer in the league, you should realize that you're a star player. He isn't a superstar yet, but he's proven, through 4 NHL seasons or parts of 4 NHL seasons that he's the real deal. And he needs to be a big part for this team, for the Oilers to get back to the playoffs.
Absolutely. So let's move on to was this your first game at Rogers Place?
No, it's my third one,
Oh,
actually.
third one. Okay.
I was at a game 2 years ago. It was actually the first game Connor ever wore the C in a preseason game. It was also Nail Yakupov's final game in an Oilers jersey.
Yeah.
He was traded the following day. And I went to the New Year's Eve game last year where the Jets spanked the Oilers 5-0. So this was definitely my best experience at Rogers Place so far. But I try to make it out a couple times a year to see a game.
Yeah. So I actually I contested off some tickets earlier today, which was
I saw that.
which was a lot of fun, and hopefully what's her name? Kim, I believe. Hopefully she had a good time, and so that's good. Are you? Is there any chance you're going to be around for the Oilers Live Cup?
I really want to. That I still have to kind of confirm with work if I can get that time off. I've booked off quite a bit of time the last 2 months, so I can't say 100% I'll be there, but man, I'd love to skate at the community arena and participate in that event.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. As of tonight, we've got room for only 3 more skaters, and which is amazing because I really wasn't sure how this would all go over. We've got 53 registered, which is fantastic, and all Twitter folks, and we've got people coming from as far away as Victoria.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, people flying in. We've got one of the Twitter fans, her son is going to play, so she's gets to be a hockey mom again for another night, and so that's kind of exciting. Today I had another Twitter, Oilers Twitter fan register, and I assume it's his wife. It may be his sister, but he's going to play, and she's signed up as a spectator. So it's going to be a ton of fun. Should be a blast. We should, should be one of those things that we do, every year. I think it'll be quite popular, and we can do it every year and just get bigger. Maybe more than one game. Who knows? Have you seen the community arena yet?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been inside of it, but every time that I go into the building, you can kind of see that it's just over to the side of it. So yeah, like I said, it'd be awesome to skate on there. I know a lot of Oilers fans have had the chance to skate at Rexall Place over the years for different events and charity things. So yeah, it would be cool. All throughout my minor hockey career, I never played a tournament in Edmonton. So yeah, it'd be great to come and skate here and play some hockey with you guys.
Absolutely. What was the atmosphere like tonight?
You know what? The first period was a little quiet. You kind of hear that, that rumor that people say, it's kind of like a library in there. But it really started to pick up after the first goal. And then, there were a lot of goals tonight. So obviously the crowd was into it. So I would say it picked up a little bit. But yeah, they're doing a little better to increase the in-game experience. But I still think there's work to be done. I'm not saying they have to be the Vegas Golden Knights, but it's definitely there's definitely work to be done, and I think that winning is going to be the most important thing to get that going. But tonight it actually wasn't too bad for the second and third period. I thought that the fans were pretty into it, and it was probably, I'll go as far to say 70% full tonight. Maybe 75% full. So,
that's not bad.
It's the first game in Edmonton, right, in the preseason. So they got a pretty good turnout, and yeah, it was a fun night.
You heading back tonight, or you? I assume you're staying over. Now, the other thing, and those of you that don't know Eric, he's on Twitter at Eric J Friesen. Last name is spelled Friesen, so give him a follow. And if you go to his Twitter account, you'll see a picture there a little ways down of looks like a gift package from the Coliseum Inn. Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that. What was that about?
Well, I've always stayed at the Coliseum. Well, I shouldn't say always, but 9 times out of 10 when I come to Edmonton, I stay here. And it was so convenient over the years because it's right across the street from the arena.
Yeah.
Thankfully the new building's only about a 12 to 15 minute drive away, so it's a quick Uber ride over there. But I lost my train of thought for a second.
The gift package.
Yeah, I always stay here. I was really surprised because when I called to book the room a month ago, they asked me what am I coming to town for, and I said, well, I'm coming for the Oilers game, and I'm sure that's still why a lot of people come to this. I hope that their hotel doesn't shut down. They're probably losing a ton of business because the Oilers aren't playing at Rexall anymore.
Yeah.
But I told them that I was coming here for that, and they left me a little note saying, welcome to Oil City, enjoy the game, and here's some free Oilers swag. So, I was pretty shocked when I first came in. I looked at it and I was thinking, are they charging me for this? Do I have to pay for it? But I quickly realized after reading the note that it was just gifts. And I mean, like, the 2 cologne is worth $35. I saw it at West Edmonton Mall today. So, I mean, for the price that I paid for the room plus that, it's almost like a write-off. So, I tweeted them just to say thank you. I mean, that's pretty cool that they would give me all that free stuff. And, it just kind of makes the trip here better. And to answer your first question, I'm driving back tomorrow. I'm here with one of my best friends. He's actually from Calgary, and he's originally from Winnipeg, huge Jets fan. So we try to plan a couple Oilers Jets games.
Yeah.
We went to the Heritage Classic together
2
years ago. So that's the only time we've ever been to a game in Winnipeg. But we both meet in Edmonton a couple times a year to go to Oilers Jets games. So yeah.
And they're playing New Year's this year. Are you going to make it out for that?
We were actually talking about it earlier today. It like I said, I still have to confirm some things with work, but we're aiming to do it again. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, 5-0 again.
I have got another caller in.
Yeah. That's good because we're going to head out here pretty quick too. So I appreciate you having me on for a chat here tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Eric, and thanks for being the first ever call-in user on this new live stream.
That's awesome, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Mary. You're on the air. Mary, you there? Hi, Mary. I'll try you one more time. I see you're calling in, but I can't hear you. Oh, it sounds like you're in a car, possibly.
You calling me Mary, Michael?
Oh, who? that's the name that came up. Who is this?
Really? Mike, man.
Oh, hey. That would be why. All right. Well, you know what? If it's not live.
The trash talk starts early, doesn't it? Call me Mary.
I was just about to hang up on you too. All right. Yeah. For those who don't recognize the voice, like I didn't right away, this is Mega Thread, Mike Dursa calling in. Hey, welcome to the new live stream. I did this impromptu tonight. I wasn't actually intending on doing this, but I thought, you know what the hell. It was a hell of a preseason game, so I thought I'll go live. This is what I want to do throughout the season. What'd you think of the game?
Yeah, it's a little hard to gauge it fully, because you're playing half a Jets team there, sort of. But I liked what I saw out of Rattie. Nuge looks like he's going to shoot the puck, and it's good for McDavid now to have two guys that want to be sort of gunslingers and no hesitations, fire the puck. That's going to be dangerous. I think Evan Bouchard kind of learned a little lesson not to watch the puck on that one goal there. Nurse kind of lost his man a little bit, but would have been okay. But Bouchard was watching the play too much and left his man a little bit there. But it'll come. I heard McClellan say in kind of his post-game scrum there that Lucic was actually sick tonight.
Oh, really?
I hope he's sick more. I hope he's sick more often. Man, he looked really focused tonight. That look on his face, he had that kind of burr in his saddle kind of look, and I liked what I saw out of him. Seems to, somebody mentioned he's trimmed down. He's not really dragging his bum as much, and I've heard Stauffer kind of say that he's, have bad eyesight, but passes seem to be on the tape tonight. So I didn't mind what I saw out of him. That's a good sign.
And I've got to ask Puljujarvi. I mean, I think he's going to have a hell of a season. I know it's preseason, but he looks like a different player.
That was quite the backhand goal there. I mean, most guys that switch to the backhand are looking to just kind of go 5-hole or shelf it or something, but he basically just used his length and his size and reached around to score that one.
Yeah.
That was a nice goal.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if you listened to Eric when he was on just now, but it was he did switch his stick to a shorter stick this year, at least from everything I've heard. But he's still using his reach. I mean, and he just seems to have a little bit more maturity the last couple of games, making the right plays. And also strong on the puck, and as I was saying, his edging and his turn back, they're. I don't think we saw that last year. He's beating a lot of players.
Seems to be a little bit quicker, yeah.
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 What did you watch the live stream, or were you at the game?
No. I watched it off the Oilers, their site there. So people were commenting on the thread about a half second before I would actually see it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think some of the other people were watching off of like Game Center or something like that. So. Oh
yeah, I had a hockey game Tuesday night when they played Vancouver, and. Basically what I do is I throw my phone away until I've watched the second half of the PVR. I was able to watch it was a late game, which I'll brag a bit. I had a 3-point night myself, so maybe I'll be looking at Connor's right wing sometime soon. Anyway, so yeah, I throw my phone away because if I even take a look at Twitter. Or even open it up, there's no doubt, just given the fact, you're like me, you're heavily engaged in the Oilers, you'll hear something, right? You'll hear or see something on Twitter or Facebook or anything, right? So
yeah.
Let's chat while I've got you, because you are the second half, the captain of Team Megathread. And as of tonight, we've had a couple more players register. So we have 3 player spots available. That's pretty damn good. And 53 registered. Did you think it would be this big when we started out?
Yeah, I didn't think it would come together this fast. And it seems kind of amazing and hilarious to me that people actually want to watch us play, but
Yeah. I'm not sure that's their motivation, but they're certainly going to come out and enjoy themselves. They'll probably have a few pops before they come out. We've talked to a couple people about maybe making some signs. I've got a couple things that I'm working on that hopefully we can announce at the end of this week, if not next week, but a couple other announcements. I also talked to the owner of the Hat on Jasper today, and that's where we'll have our after party. So he can accommodate up to 107 people. He's opening a half hour early on Sunday. That Sunday to accommodate us, and we're gonna have a good time. Have you been practicing? Have you been getting out on skates at all?
Well, yeah, I did my little tour of duty at West Edmonton Mall, but I need to get
West Edmonton Mall
action happening.
That was the West Edmonton Mall training camp.
Yeah, like I got in trouble for tweeting and skating without a helmet by some people, but I don't know. I grew up on the ice. That's my second home. I'm not scared. So.
And what do you play normally? Defense, forward? What's your?
You know what, Mike? I can play every position. I could play goal if I had to, but if you shoot it in my feet, I'd have trouble. Everything up high. Everything up high. I got a good glove, but But yeah, normally I'm probably best left wing, but that opening draw, that's got to be me and you. That's how this is going to have to work. Like that's got to be a rule.
I guess at least the ceremonial puck drop. It might be the only chance I have to win a face-off.
Oh.
I've the odd time. I actually, as you probably know, I play a ton of hockey and on 3 different leagues. And one of those teams, for some insane reason, they always want me to play forward. So I'll play center typically when I play with them. And I'm not bad on the face-off, but if I get a guy that really knows how to take a face-off, I lose every single time. Typically, I just swat the stick and go for the puck. Nothing too fancy. I kind of lumber around. My hands are like bricks, so I've got semi-decent speed, and so I do get a fair amount of breakaways, especially in coming in from the rush. If I had to say, offensively, I'm probably a lot like Darnell Nurse. You know how he goes in on the left hand and then he just shoots it at the goalie. That's pretty much my number one offensive play. Yeah, it's not. It's certainly nothing special.
Like I said earlier today, I pretty much patterned my game after Smitty, but I do have the ability to put the puck off the ice.
That's right. We're playing Raisies, just in case if anybody wants to know. Yeah. I have had a couple of people ask me, just how serious are we going to be out there? I said, well, it is a bunch of old timers, really. It should be.
It'll be hidden.
Yeah, it should be good.
It'll be hit and miss a little.
Yeah, I think so. If I can maybe get the puck up the boards once or twice, I'll be happy. No, we'll have. It'll be a good time, and we've got the ice for full 90, so we can get a good warm up in. Maybe get everybody to do their stretches. Yeah. No injuries allowed on this night. It should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna probably close it down tonight. I just wanted to do a test. I had at the peak on Twitter, and I don't know now. I just so you know, and everybody that's listening, you can go onto Oilers.live, which is my website, and you can listen live. There is a listen live pop out there, just like you would on any radio station, and stream just the audio. You can go to YouTube, which my YouTube channel, you'll have to find by searching Oilers Live. And if you go there, please subscribe. Right now, I think I'm up to a whopping 7 subscribers. But I've had, I don't know if it's all 7 of them, but there's been about 7 watchers on YouTube tonight. And then on Twitter, I think the video is a little bit choppy, but we've been up in the as high as 15 viewers on Twitter tonight, and you can watch that.
How did Mike?
Yep.
How did you sneak? How did you sneak into the Oilers dressing room there?
Oh yeah, no, that's isn't that great? So that is I'm back right now. In fact, that's awesome. I've got the full setup now. I'm having a ton of fun doing this, and if you're ever out this way, Mike, I'll have to get you in the official Oilers Live studio. It actually looks pretty nice in here now, and of course there's a big old green screen behind me. Allows me to put whatever it is I want. So I've got a couple different things. So I'm going to do this show weekly, Thursdays, and that'll be the Oilers Live show. And it's just going to be a live broadcast, and then I'll still do a podcast, which will be heavy hockey. Tomorrow night I'm going to have Shane Sander on, if you don't know him from the Hockey Writers. So that'd be fun. He's a hell of a guy and a good person to talk to. And if you get around to it, go. He's got an article on the Hockey Writers where he did the season preview for the Oilers. It's pretty in depth and goes through a lot of everything, prospects, everything, what to watch for. Off-season moves, additions, subtractions, etc. He's done a really good job. Shane's, as big a fan as the rest of us, and a smart guy. So he's done that. Take a look at that. But I'll be doing that. So podcast, recorded, broadcast. Although this will be available live, people will be able to call in. And what do you think of the format, Mike? Pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed your other episode too with Jack Michaels. Like Eric said, Jack's such a easy guy, nice guy, and a wealth of knowledge in his head. That I could listen to you two go back and forth for hours. That was a really enjoyable episode, Mike.
Isn't he something? Like he's and he's been around, right? Like he of course started in Colorado and then went to Alaska. Jenna Puliu, one of the Oilers Twitter fans, she was in Alaska when he was out there calling games for the Aces. So she's got a bit of a story around that. And did you listen to the part about how he found out? I think it's just fascinating. He kind of like very last minute threw his name in the hat. And he is, I think we're lucky. He's a hell of a play-by-play guy. And he
is, yeah.
Like, I get excited listening to him. I actually, when we get the streams, these Facebook Live streams or YouTube streams, I don't mind having him as the play-by-play.
No, it was kind of refreshing tonight to listen to him and Bob Stauffer call the game and not have it delayed. If you're gonna do that on TV, you got that half-second delay, but it was nice to listen to them.
Yeah,
kind of go. I didn't mind that format at all tonight, and the stream was good. I didn't have any, choppiness or lag or anything. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. Better than, what was it, 2 years ago? You're lucky if you could even get it to work. So they've obviously come a long way. I don't mind the live stream, other than you can't. It's not like you can PVR it or pause it and go grab a drink or something and come back and watch where you pick up where you ended up, or rewind or anything like that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But other than that, I think the one of the neat things is watching because you're watching the scoreboard, obviously, but watching the fan stuff, and I'm always watching to see if I recognize anybody that's there.
It looks like they've stepped up their game a little bit in terms of the fan thing there. They've added a couple things. It's not just a kiss cam now. There's a couple extra things that they've added to it. I guess the Vegas filter effect or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the Vegas effect, right? Like, everybody's got up their game. I totally agree. Hey, before you go, did you listen to 31 Thoughts today?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, I won't spoil it then. Give it a listen. It was a good one. It was the first one of the season. Of course, Friedman's awesome. But he's back online. Couple things to note. Couple things around the league. Of course, what brought it to mind was they talked about the what's his name for Vegas that's on the 20-game suspension. Schmidt? Is that?
Right.
Why am I going?
PEDs.
Who was it? Who was it that?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they talked a little bit about him. I thought it was interesting. I mean, we don't always hear the full story, so that was kind of neat. And yeah. Anyway, he didn't seem my view, and I don't want to get too ahead of the Oilers, but my view on the Oilers and where they're going to finish this year, I think they are going to be a playoff team. I'm not saying that because we've had, a reasonably successful preseason, because that doesn't indicate anything. But I think we've got the talent. And I think that more NHL media would agree with me, and I think you're probably in the same boat as me, if they weren't burnt so bad last year, right? If 90% of them said the Oilers were going to the Stanley Cup, and 90% of them were wrong. And so I think this year they're going to say, they're not going to make the playoffs, and if they do, they can be pleasantly surprised. I think this is a playoff team.
Yeah, I think they'll push. To me, it's really the biggest thing is going to be how is Cam Talbot going to be. I think that's something that a lot of people don't even talk about, and I think it's a major thing for them. I liked what he brought in Vancouver. I thought he was very strong and had that ultimate focus. Tonight he was okay. I didn't think he was outstanding, but he was okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna have himself a year again though this year. To see that focus, and I think a lot of what went on last year is I think myself that what's been said is that he had an abdominal injury. I think it was a little lower than that myself. He was having trouble.
Yeah,
I think he was having trouble going side to side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, that's your groin, not your abdomen. But I'm not a doctor, but that's just my instinct says that. But yeah, if he's back, and then losing Sekera hurts, but I think they've done some things here to maybe fill the hole earlier this year by committee. There's all these guys on the PTOs and that, and yeah, they're not at Sekera's level, but they're okay. Who makes the team? Is it Bouchard? Is it Bear? Is it Garrison? Gravel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably missing one guy that they brought in too, but but Darnell getting re-signed, he looked good tonight. Looked like himself.
Yeah.
That steady, poised defensemen, and Clefbaum and Larson I thought played well. They're looking like a pair again. So
yeah,
I think we'll be okay. Ty Rattie was on fire tonight. That tipping goal was next level. I mean, that was nice. And he's just he's a gunslinger. Like, you get him the puck and he's got one thing on his mind, and he's in the right position to let it go. So and that can only help Connor.
The credit I'll give him is it wasn't just tonight with Connor, right? Like, it was the other night in Calgary. I mean, he's I think he's got a little bit of confidence going, and if he can ride that going into the regular season, watch out. I mean, he could surprise a lot of people, right? I mean, he surprised me tonight.
Well, even tonight, he was getting points away from Connor and Nuge, right?
Yep.
Todd had him out there with a bunch of different people. I mean, the lines weren't really steady. He had Lucic playing with Puljujärvi, and I think that Marody for a bit, and everything was kind of like a McTavish blender tonight.
So you think who do you think's next to be cut on the Oilers training camp roster? If I had to guess, I think Marody's probably going back sooner than later. He's kind of the first. Have you heard anything about Upshaw? Is he going to get a game in?
I think he'll get some game action in. Yeah, he just kind of got cleared he just passed his physical the other day, so they're probably trying to get him a couple of games in first, but he'll probably play, I would think, the next one in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game in Winnipeg might, after that, there might be a severe, 5-6 guys getting sent to wherever they're going to get sent to.
Yeah, I've liked, and I don't bring up Marody because I haven't liked his game. I thought he's played the type of game you expect from Cooper Marody. He's a smart player. The only thing I wonder if he's going to get is he doesn't have the wheels. It would seem to me, at least, to play, regular in the NHL. Maybe a call up or whichever, or maybe he can work on that and get better. He just seems a little bit slower than the other players out there, but hell of a smart player, and that's kind of what got him, to where he's at. I think the great thing is the kind of game he plays. I think translates well to the AHL. And I think success in Bakersfield is going to be good. Hopefully they have some success there. I look at some of the players that they sent down to Bakersfield, and I think it's going to be a good team in Bakersfield. And with Woodcroft there, it's a good development team. I don't know the last time we had anything like this. Where I was, a little bit pumped or jazzed about the Bakersfield team, what they're learning down there, plus, what's going to happen with the Oilers this year. I'm not going to go so far as to say they're going to go far in the playoffs, but I do think they're a playoff team, and all those little ingredients together, maybe this is something we can parlay into a couple of years of success, something we're not used to as Oilers fans.
Well, I think in the Bake this year, excuse me, you're going to have at least a steady goaltender, because I can't see the Craig McTavish year's three goalie circus going on again this year on the big clubs. So either Koskinen or Montoya is probably going to be their goalie for the year, or those two guys will kind of take turns doing that job and doing the job behind Cam. So they're going to have a pretty good goalie, to backstop them. And then, maybe one of the three of McLeod, Benson, or Yamamoto makes the big club, but maybe they don't, and all three of them are down there, and I think they'd be dangerous in the AHL.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we'll probably get some good highlights if you're not following EDM Future Watch, Edmonton Future Watch, Matt Mosewicz. You should be. That's for those of you listening or going to listen to this. He always posts all the highlights of all the prospects, and I think it's going to be an exciting year for that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wrap it up tonight, I think, Mike. I think this has been a successful broadcast by my standards. I appreciate you being one of my regular callers. And I do want to say thank you for helping me put together the Oilers Live Cup. We are going to have a real blast when that happens. So it's not that far away. Actually, if you go to the website, there's a little countdown timer on there with the registration link. So you go to Oilers.live, and on the right-hand side, 79 days remaining until the Cup. I'm going to be going around and checking out some of the thrift stores and that for a suitable Oilers Live Cup. So if anybody out there finds one, let me know. And it would be fun to have a cup, something maybe we could pass around year over year.
Drinking the ginger ale out of the Oilers Live Cup.
That's right, absolutely. All right, well, you have a great night, Mike. Thanks for calling in, and next Thursday maybe we can do this again.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Yeah, have a good night. And that was Mike Dursa, Megathread Mike. You can follow him at Dursa Mike. That's DIRSA Mike, MIKE. And Mike is as big an Oilers fan as you're going to find. Hell of a guy. Been a guest on the show a couple times. Always calls in. One of my favorite people in Oilers Twitter land, which is why I engaged him to help me out with the Oilers Live Cup. And we've been moderately successful with this so far. So 53 registered with only 3 player spots. So I'm going to shut it down for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I saw quite a number of people on there. Maybe next time we can get a little bit more interaction, maybe some more people on the YouTube Live. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Go search Oilers Live, one word, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think I'm at a whopping 7 subscribers right now. Would love to be at 100 soon, 200, just grow it from there. Follow me on Instagram, Oilers Live. And anywhere you get podcasts, Oilers Live. Of course, you get 3 podcasts on there. You get this live broadcast, you get the Heavy Hockey podcast, and you get the always amusing and hilarious Late Night with the Oil Night. So that's Sean Patrick Ryan and, of course, Dirtbag Donnie and their quote-unquote call-in guests. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night. And stay out of trouble. Drive safe. Talk to you soon.
Oilers Live.